Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Ultimate Nightmares run, where we take the characters that are hardest to beat on the new Nightmare mode, as chosen by you, and try to win with them. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing the Diver, which is the character I've had the most players tell me is just impossible on Nightmare mode. I've had a lot of people say this is the very last character that they haven't won with, so today we're going to try to beat it. The Diver is really difficult because enemy health, of course, is increased, which is even worse on Nightmare mode. And the Diver's, in my opinion, best weapon, the Thief Dagger, is a lot harder to use on Nightmare mode because the damage just doesn't keep up with the wave. So what I'm going to try first is I'm going to try Shuriken. This was buffed, and I think will give us a slightly better clear speed through the mid-game compared to Thief Dagger. Also, maybe not get overwhelmed by the enhanced summoners, although it does have the problem of... Oh no, come on. Don't do me like this game. Okay, I did kill the Gobbler before it ate all of my money. It does have the problem of the enhanced flies being really bad for it. Here, I'm going to take 2 melee damage over 5 harvesting. We need to increase our damage as quickly as possible. I'll leave both these items in the pool, and then I will reroll, buy a shuriken, leave both of these in the pool. I'm specifically hoping to find, obviously, like, really premium economy items like bag, but I really want piercing shots. I want lumberjack shirt, because killing trees is really hard on this character, and I want things like claw tree and insanity. Coffee is great, and baby gecko, I'm not going to lock. It might seem weird not to lock it, because we will be leaving a lot of materials on the ground, but we really want those slots open for things that help us increase our damage in the early game. This character gets so much economy from its bonus. You buy crit chance at an increased rate, you get free regen by building melee damage, so you get a lot of economy for free, but you need to make sure that you're clearing the wave, so you just have to focus exclusively on melee damage and crit chance early on. We'll take some crit chance here, and then defective steroids I don't think is quite worth locking. I could buy a submachine gun, so this is a second way to apply the ranged damage debuff. I think I will. I do want a second way to apply it at some point. This is going to cost me some shuriken levels buying it this early, but it does ensure that we have increased our ability to actually debuff enemies. The second weapon can be anything. It can be a second harpoon gun, it can be an SMG, it can be a shotgun, it can be a shredder. SMG is nice. It works well with the fact that we're probably going to build some lifesteal, so it'll, provide a lot of healing. And it will work especially well if we do find piercing shots, which is something we're really looking for as well. We'll take the melee damage there. We'll buy Jerkin upgrade. We'll buy the coffee. I have 2 regen. I think I can afford the weird ghost, and I'm going to ban penguin. We don't really want to build regen. If we buy lifesteal, we want to buy... or if we buy healing, we want to buy lifesteal. I do want more percent damage. I'm not going to lock the weird ghost. I'm just going to roll here. We'll lock a shuriken. Pearl is too early. And I think I'm going to ban the glasses and leave plant in the pool because it's an okay item. No, I'm actually just going to ban plant because I don't want to reduce my lifesteal. And we'll get regen for free. I do have to be a little careful this wave with the weird ghost just because we have a harpoon gun. So pulling enemies on top of us and then dying is a real concern, of course. The enhanced flies are what I'm really worried about in this run with shurikens on Crash Zone. I ran up to the map. And I do think Crash Zone is going to be a little harder because of the enhanced flies for the shuriken run than the Abyss would be. Had to leave a lot of materials on the ground that wave. I really hate lowering my melee damage, but we will take fertilizer. We'll take 2 armor here, and then I'm going to reroll and take 4 more melee damage. We'll buy shuriken, we'll buy defective steroids, we'll buy cake, and we'll ban campfire, and then we'll reroll. Okay, lure is great. Community support is excellent. We're going to pick that up. Obviously, I'll need to fix my armor, but attack speed is so important to this character, and getting to buy that and the lure means that we probably will be able to actually kill the loot aliens, which is very important as well. So with this character, it's important to remember that non-critical hits are basically irrelevant. So you really need to boost your crit chance to 100% as quickly as you can get it. And you need to make sure that you're constantly applying the ranged damage debuff to any enemies that you're attacking. So you need a weapon that helps you do that. Kill that tree, and we got 160 income. I'm going to take the crit chance here, and then... Okay, I'm just short, unfortunately, of being able to buy lure and community support, so I'm going to wait. I want the community support for the lure wave, because otherwise it's just going to be hard to kill the loot aliens, so we'll buy that first. And then I'm going to roll here and lock a shuriken, and then we can buy this stuff next wave. Kill at least one of the eggs here and try to clear the summons, and then focus some damage on the big slasher, clear the summons again this wave, pick up some money. Trying to focus on keeping the wave clear here. One item I'd really like would be lumberjack shirt, or even better, loot worm, to kill trees. Because this character, the trees have 3.5 times as much health as they normally do, just like every other enemy, but they're immune to the debuff from ranged damage. So killing trees is actually a real problem for us. Here, I'm gonna take the crit chance, and then we'll take 4 more melee damage. Then I'll buy these items and roll. Buy a bag, lock black belt, and cute monkey, and I'll do a reroll here. Although lowering my crit chance is very painful, I do need to increase my melee damage. So do I want the goat skull? I think I'm going to leave both of these in the pool for now, but not lock them, because I'm hoping to level my weapons as well. Alright, killing the healer right off the jump is pretty nice, and we'll go for the eggs here as well. I would love piercing shots. That's one of the most important things for this run that we do not currently have. Kill that loot alien, then I'm going after the healer to prevent too much health from getting on the field. Then I needed to kill that ranged enemy, then I can go after the other loot alien. You have to prioritize on Nightmare mode. It's really easy to get greedy and go after a loot alien kill early in the run, and let too many dangerous enemies just pile up. The enhanced enemies actually require you to pay attention to them. But we did get both of them. Increasing enemy speed, super dangerous, but the scarf is very good here. We'll take the insanity. And then I need to fix my damage. My percent damage was negative. I'm going to buy these items. I'll roll. Okay, eye patch gives us piercing shots. That's great. We'll buy the insanity and the lemonade, and then roll again. And then I currently have 78% crit chance, so I will buy Pile of Books. We'll ban the turret. Do I want the fertilizer? At this point, I think I care so much about weapon damage, about melee damage, that I'm actually just going to ban the fertilizer here. Wave 8 as a scarf wave is pretty scary. Because enemies have so much health this wave, increasing their move speed is bad. If it was wave 9, I actually couldn't have bought the scarf, because we just wouldn't have had the killing power to get through wave 9. And since enemies on that wave are already really fast, we'd have just gotten overwhelmed and died, I think. Whoops. Okay, took a hit there from the charger. Need to focus on clearing these chargers so I'm not having to dodge a million of them all at once. Making sure that we're trying to attack the enemies that we've put the range damage debuff on. Also got a loot alien kill there. I didn't even see it spawn, but we got it, and we made it through the wave. Tentacle, great find. I have 0 armor. I'm going to roll here and do I want to buy crit chance or melee damage, or do I want to roll for armor? Or just take 12% damage? I think I have to take melee damage here, and then I have to take 9 max HP here. I obviously desperately need armor, and we'll have to fix that later. But for now, it's more important that I have the killing power to get through the next wave. Okay, a Barnacle, is that a reason to build Curse? Barnacle is a lot of stats. We would be getting it wave 10. That is pretty powerful. I think I will buy the Barnacle here, and then I'm going to roll, and I guess I'll buy a Lure, and we'll buy a Jerky as well. I'm not sure about the Barnacle, to be honest. Having cursed enemies on the field is pretty scary. Alright, there is a loot alien there. We're going to clear the summoners and then kill the loot alien. Having the piercing shots from the eye patch is really nice here. Obviously makes wave 9 way easier because our AoE damage is significantly increased. Also makes it easier for our SMG to apply the range damage debuff. Did I get the loot alien? Looks like I did. I think this second crate in the middle was the second loot alien. Then I'm going to try to pick up some of these materials before the end of the wave. And very strong wave there. I'll take the treasure map. Kyler, I'm going to recycle. I'll take 4 melee damage. I'm going to take 2% lifesteal. I actually do want some healing. And then I would love to grab more crit chance, but I can't play with 0 armor. And we should be able to get to 100% crit chance, even just by leveling up our weapons. Also, I'm buying Pile of Books. And then I'm going to roll here. Alloy would get me some more crit chance and some more melee damage. Blunderbuss is an interesting way to apply the ranged damage debuff. It has inherent piercing. It should shoot very quickly. I haven't tried this before, though. So given that this is such a hard run, I'm not going to experiment here. I'll take the whistle. I'll take Boxing Glove. Recycling Machine I've generally been really unimpressed with on Nightmare mode, but I think here might be an okay spot to grab it, because we'll be able to buy the whole shop and get a reroll. It's going to be a little easier to make it work. I might have been more inclined to buy the blunderbuss if I had, like, a baby gecko, or, you know, a couple baby geckos, or Sif's Relic or something. So the next thing that I'm really worried about, I mean, getting there is not trivial, but the next thing I'm really concerned about is wave 16. Because you get a ton of enhanced flies on wave 16, and obviously we're doing lots of small ranged damage instances, both with our SMG and with our shurikens. So I really need to get my damage high enough that we're able to kill the enhanced flies without too much difficulty. I'll take some lifesteal here. I would love 4 armor, but I gotta take attack speed. We have no attack speed currently. So we're going to take 20% attack speed. I'm going to buy these items. I might actually just ban the recycling machine. It can be worth money, of course. But this still gets me the reroll, and we really need more damage before we go into the Horde wave. I'm already building Curse, so I'll build Corrupted Shard. We actually don't need to upgrade our submachine gun past level 1. The level 1 SMG, the only thing we care about is attack speed on our SMG, and it doesn't increase as you level it. I'll buy the Ritual here, and we'll take Charcoal and Beanie, and then I'll do a reroll. Still looking for more Shuriken levels. That's the thing that we care about the most right now. Have to do my best to pick up at least some materials this wave. At the end of the wave, we're not going to be able to because it's a Horde wave, and we're just going to get stuck in the corner, which is happening a little sooner than I'd have liked, honestly, but I at least don't want to leave too many from last wave getting doubled up. I'm gonna run over here and try to grab that. Can I get this loot alien kill? If it comes close, yes, it did run the right direction that we were able to get it. Got the tree as well. And then I'm going to run to the middle of the map and try to grab some materials. And I actually got a fair few before the end of the wave there. I'll take the snail, and here I'm going to reroll and reroll. I'm looking for a level 3 upgrade if possible, because we have a barnacle. So if we get a tier 3 upgrade, it's really good. Range isn't totally irrelevant for this character, but I'm just going to take the max HP and then 4 armor. That's great. Okay, I'll take the cursed submachine gun. I don't know to what extent it's actually going to do anything to have the cursed submachine gun, but it's a cheap upgrade and it gives me curse. And once we've started building curse, we want more. We'll definitely take a lure here. I'll take the cauldron. I don't think I need the spicy sauce. We have 60 HP. Baby with a beard, best item you can find on this character because it applies ranged damage. It does ranged damage, so it's going to apply the debuff. And it'll work with our piercing shots. Sunglasses. I actually might want to build crit over the maximum for our shurikens, so that our submachine gun is critting and thus piercing. But I think sunglasses reducing my armor is too dangerous, so I'll pass on that. I'll buy the lemonade, lock the cake, go to the next wave here. I've liked so far having one SMG and the harpoon gun, because actually pulling the enemies in close so that we can constantly get bouncing attacks off of them has been pretty relevant. I heard the second whistle, of course. I just don't see the loot alien. It either died... Oh, there it is. There were two just stacked up in the middle. We got 3 loot alien spawns this wave, which is nice. A hunting trophy, of course, would go a long way towards boosting my economy. I would love more armor, but mostly what I want is just damage output. We'll take the crit chance here. I'll take the padding. Medical turret, I'm going to recycle. I have a lot of regen. I could take 5, but I think we're going to roll, and we'll take 16% damage. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm going to combine here, buy shuriken, and we'll buy all of these items. Do a reroll. Upgrade my shuriken. That's great. Upgrade my harpoon gun. Also really nice. Gives it extra piercing, and will have a larger effect, slowing effect and everything. I'm going to take the ugly tooth. That can help against elites, and then I'm going to roll. Buy a gentle alien now, and then we'll roll. More attack speed, yes, and of course, a bunch of armor. I don't care about lowering my range damage, but I don't need more crit chance. We already crit more than 100%. So what I'm really looking for at this point, again, shuriken levels, cursed shurikens, of course, would be the best. Wave 13 is a good testing ground as well, because we do get enhanced flies on this wave. And so we can see if we're getting just not nearly as many as wave 16. So if we're getting just overwhelmed by projectiles, then I have a lot of work to do before wave 16. So far, I'm not loving where we're at. I definitely want, especially because we have like the baby with a beard, which is going to do projectiles that we have no control over and everything. So I am going to need to boost my damage significantly before we hit wave 16 so that we can clear all the enhanced flies without having to dodge infinite projectiles. A baby gecko's nice. We'll take a gentle alien, ban the wheelbarrow, or recycle the wheelbarrow, take riposte. I'm going to roll here, and I don't need more crit chance. I'm going to roll. I do desperately need more attack speed, so I'll pick that up, and then I'm going to take 4 armor. I'm going to buy all of these items, and then roll again. Roll again here. I will take a shuriken for sure. We don't want items like Rip and Tear. Obviously, it lowers my crit chance, so we don't want it from that perspective, but also non-weapon sources of damage are terrible for this character. Triangle of Power is great. We'll buy a helmet, and we'll roll again. I'll take salt water and charcoal as well. Wave 14, I'm not that concerned about. I think this one won't be so bad. Because the main thing about Wave 14 is just having enough AoE damage that you can clear the summons. Now, we are going to be summoning enemies without too much control over when we're summoning them. Taking that hit... so I wanted to take a hit there. The second one wasn't on purpose. The first one I wanted to take because I wanted to check my health against incoming damage, because that gives me some sense of whether I'm going to be able to survive. I'm going to recycle Pocket Factory. It's a non-weapon source of damage. We don't really need it. We'll take the Triangle of Power for sure. And then I will buy the charcoal. We'll lock the defective steroids. I'll roll here. I actually have good engineering, good enough engineering that the nail will be okay. We'll buy boxing glove, lock shuriken, and then do a reroll. Lock a coffee. Great find there. So I really want to just focus damage on this elite quickly. This is a dangerous elite to fight. And wave 15, of course, if you are putting too much damage into the elite, you can get overwhelmed by the summons. I've definitely liked having one harpoon gun and one SMG, so I think I would recommend that mix when you're trying this run yourself, because it's pulling in the key enemies, and then we can focus damage on them, but the SMG is also able to provide enough damage. Now, I don't think it's necessary to have this exact mix, but I have found that it's working very well. Where is Loot Alien? I think I got the last one. Okay, Ricochet, I am going to recycle. We already have bouncing shots on our shurikens, and Ricochet reduces the amount of damage per bounce that you get from weapons. Now, that'll apply at the last bounce. I think the Ricochet bounce happens after the natural bounce from shurikens. I'm actually not 100% sure of that, but we don't need more bounce. We just need... and we definitely don't need to lose 25% damage. I'll take the Insanity here. We do lose some damage, but again, increasing our crit chance is helpful for increasing the chance to pierce with our harpoon gun and with our SMG. I could start building dodge. We have Barnacle, which is one of the best ways to build dodge, because increasing the amount that you get from level ups is pretty nice. I think I will take the 12 dodge here, even if we don't end up using it. Going up to 17 dodge isn't completely irrelevant, and if we get a couple good dodge items, we might be in good shape. I do want the treasure map, but we're going into wave 16, so I just want to increase my damage. I'm going to lock the butterfly. I think treasure map this late I'm actually going to pass on. I'm definitely passing on starfish. Increased enemy damage is bad, and we don't need the money at this point. We just need more damage output. We'll take the claw tree here. Alright, so this is kind of the moment of truth. We're going to end up with a lot of the enhanced flies this wave, because it's wave 16 crash zone, which is going to be a lot of dodging. So first I'm going to clear the buffers. Very important to do that. And then when we're fighting the enhanced flies, what I want to do is... they're going to spawn in waves, right? And I want to kill the ones on the left side of the map and then move over to the right side of the map and kill those, so that I'm not fighting all of them at once, because that's how we end up with way too many projectiles on the field to safely dodge. So basically by positioning on the side of the map here, I've given myself a little more room before too many more projectiles spawn. Now, this end of this wave was pretty scary, and I had to leave a lot of materials on the ground, but we did make it. I'm going to recycle the bonk dog here. I'm going to re-roll, and yeah, I could take 12 more dodge, going up to 30 dodge. That's actually not bad. And then we'll buy the claw tree, buy the leather vest. My speed is negative. I want to fix that, and I'll do some re-rolling. Cursed hedgehog, sure, we'll definitely take. All right, so making it through wave 16, I'm feeling pretty good. More armor, more dodge, and more damage, of course, are what we need at this point still. Our healing is pretty good now because we have some lifesteal. We've got good regen. We, I think, have some consumable healing as well. And a tentacle. So obviously that last wave looked really chaotic and really difficult, but it's not as hard to do that as it might look when you see all the projectiles on the screen, because when you're watching the game, you're looking at the whole screen at once. I'm just looking at the like little corner around my character when I'm on a wave like that. So I only really have to mentally process what's in like a little box around myself. Which just makes it easier not to have to, makes it easier to make sure that I'm dodging all the projectiles as they enter my territory. I'll take the dodge here, and then I'm going to buy all these items. I don't need to buy an insanity at full price. I don't need a submachine gun. Alien tongue would be okay. What's our knockback like? It's 9? I actually am going to buy the alien tongue, because getting more knockback, actually, I think is fairly helpful. Buy the little muscly dude and the claw tree, and cute monkey's good healing. Another beanie would be nice as well. We'll level our harpoon gun, and we'll buy 4 melee damage with the riposte. Yeah, the harpoon gun slowing elites is also very helpful. So, another reason I kind of like the mix of weapons. Now, I'll say that the thing where you're only looking at the area of the screen right around yourself is only true for a wave like that, where you're just trying to dodge a bunch of slow-moving projectiles. On the rest of the waves in Nightmare mode, you should be looking at more of the map, because you need to know where the dangerous enemies are. But when you know what's coming, and like wave 16, we know that the only thing we really care about is the enhanced flies. You can just focus in on dodging those. I'm gonna recycle this. I could build more knockback, but 57 materials is a lot. Okay, we're gonna get to dodge cap. Lifesteal is good. Losing 2 melee damage is a real penalty, but we can certainly absorb that. And then I'm gonna reroll again. I have a bunch of max HP. I'm just going to take 5 melee damage. I don't really need more max health, and I do just need as much damage as we can get to close out the game quickly. I'll buy a crystal. Crystal is a great find. I don't think we have one, right? We have Triangle of Power. Or do we not have Triangle of Power? No, we do have Triangle of Power. Okay. Yeah, so Crystal, of course, goes well with Triangle of Power, and attack speed, really important, so we'll pick that up. I will buy the level 1 shuriken. It's a little risky because if we don't level it up, it does make my weapon set slightly worse. I don't need the gentle alien, or I don't need the gobbler's hat. I do want gentle alien. More enemies is actually good for our healing and for our damage in the end game. And then let's roll here, and I'll take a riposte. I'm not going to buy scarf because we're going into the boss wave, so obviously we don't want to speed up the bosses. Definitely a tough run. Some really scary at various stages of this run. I do like the shuriken build, I think. I think it was easier managing this with shurikens than if I had been focusing on thief daggers. Thief dagger obviously would have a lot more money, but waves like wave 14 are really tough with thief daggers on Crash Zone. Might be a little easier on the Abyss to do thief daggers. But wave 14 Crash Zone, where you just can't reliably with the thief dagger clear all the summons as they spawn, is super scary. Alright, left a lot of materials on the ground, but that's okay. I could take 5 armor here, but let's just take 10 melee damage. I'm going to try to end this fight really quickly, then I'll reroll. I did get a leveled up shuriken. I have 5 consumable healing, so I guess I'll buy an alien worm just because we're not going to find that much else that will be helpful. Baby gecko, I'm going to roll past because I don't really care about picking up materials. Duct tape, I do care about armor. Injection, I care about damage, and I'm going to roll again. I could take the pumpkin. It doesn't really help to kill the bosses, so let's just reroll here. And then I have a padding, so I probably shouldn't roll again, because we won't be able to buy anything, and I'd be giving up a health. So we'll just stop there, and we'll go to wave 20. One thing I could have done if I'd found a bunch of shurikens in the last wave is I could have gone down to... I could have gotten rid of my SMG. Because we just need to focus the bosses specifically this wave. And the harpoon gun would be plenty to keep the debuff on them. I'm not worrying about which boss I'm attacking. I just want to make sure I'm constantly attacking. We have bouncing shot, so we're just clearing the wave quickly. And there we go. All right, that is the diver on Nightmare mode. This character, definitely challenging. I think that... I feel like we got a lot of stuff that we really wanted in this run, and maybe like the early community support obviously was a tremendous gift. So that definitely was a high roll. Our bag gave us 375 materials, which was nice. The triple lure, of course, was incredible. So this definitely was a stronger run than I think you'll usually see on the diver. And that is probably why it has been such a sticking point. But we were able to make it. Only 16 healing from our cute monkeys. They actually were disastrously bad. That's very surprising, but I guess we just didn't take that many hits, and we healed a lot with our regen, with our lifesteal, and with our tentacles. So maybe I could have skipped those. 272 materials saved from coupon, only 2 items from treasure map. The barnacle was great. We got so many stats from it. Alloy was good. The knockback I did like having. The dangerous bunnies were great. Baby with a beard, obviously a very powerful item on this character if you get it later. Not necessary, but excellent when you do get it. And what else? The nail gave us a small amount of additional damage, so a reasonable amount of good finds here. We were able to get to 60 dodge. The eye patch was extremely important as well. I think finding piercing shots is one of the major things that you need to do. And I really liked the mix of 1 submachine gun with a form of pierce and 1 harpoon gun. I felt that that worked very well. So that I would recommend copying if possible in your own runs. All right, my friends, hope that you've enjoyed this look at the diver, and I hope that if this character has been giving you difficulty, then this deep dive into the diver will help you out. As always, of course, if you have enjoyed the video, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.